Okay, Andy. Good afternoon, everyone. So, online students, can you hear my voice? Okay, Andy. Yesterday's concept is transaction management. Anyway, okay. Last concept is what? Connection pool. Okay, Andy. Not transaction, connection pool. The process of organizing multiple pre-initialized database connections among multiple users is known as a connection pooling process. Anyway, to design this concept, we have been taken one component from java.util package, that is vector. Sir, what is the reason of taking vector? Means vector is a synchronized class. So what is the meaning of synchronized class? Means the class is holding synchronized methods. Means the methods which are available within the class are declared with a synchronized keyword. So the methods are known as synchronized methods. What is the advantage if we declare one method with a synchronized keyword? The advantage is the methods will be under synchronized lock. So in this process, if one user picks the method, second user cannot pick the same method. He has to wait for the method availability. In that way, the class which is holding synchronized methods, the class you can call it as a synchronized class and thread safe class. So especially these classes are used in multi-user applications or multi-thread applications. So in the yesterday's concept, there are some pre-initialized database connections are available. The users has to pick the connection, use the connection, and they have to return back the connection. In that process, multiple users are trying to access one component. So that component must be synchronized component. Because of this reason, among your total Java collection framework, we picked vector component out. It's a theory. And in real-time market, in the process of developing your applications, we take the support of connection pooling through Spring. You're going to take it out. So today's concept is make it define, not define, batch processing. Batch processing in JDBC. Batch processing in JDBC. One small concept here. Batch processing in JDBC. The process of collecting multiple queries. The process of collecting multiple queries as batch. The process of collecting multiple queries as batch and executing at a time. Executing at a time is known as batch processing. Is known as batch processing. The process of collecting multiple queries as batch and executing at a time. Underline the term at a time. At a time meaning is, suppose 10 queries are there. Started with query number 1. It will not stop in the middle until it executes query number 10. That's called batch. So the term your others are calling it as at a time. At a time means started, ended. That's the meaning of at a time. So batch processing means prosecute. Processing means executing. Batch is a common term in English. Wherever the group or collection, we can call it as batch. According to JDBC, batch means what? Means multiple queries collected together and executed at a time. The concept we call it as batch processing concept. It's a theory. Now, there are some methods supporting batch processing to you. Java P, Java.SQL. I'm taking from statement. I'm opening statement. In this statement, 3 major methods are available. One is add batch will be there somewhere. Can you see add batch, execute batch, clear batch? Make it. The following are the methods. The following are the methods used in batch processing. The following are the methods used in batch processing. One is add batch, execute batch, at last clear batch. There are 3 methods involved in batch processing in JDBC: add batch, execute batch, and clear batch. One line. This add batch method is used to add query. This add batch method is used to add query to the batch. This add batch method is used to add query to the batch. So generally we write a method signatures always to educate a student whether return type or non-return type or static or non-static and so on. So I'm writing method signature here. Method signature. Method signature. So public abstract void add batch java dot lang dot string is the parameter. Throws java dot sql dot sql exception. This is your add batch. This execute batch method is used to execute the queries from the batch at a time. At a time. This execute batch method is used to execute the queries from the batch at a time. Means the method will support to execute all the queries at a time. That's the meaning of execute batch. This execute batch return type is array actually. So the array will record how many queries has been executed successfully. So method signature. Method signature. Method signature. Here execute batch return type is int. You can see here int. So it is an array actually. So public abstract int execute batch throws java.sql exception. Clear batch. So whenever you want to, the term only you are understanding anyway. Clear batch means all the queries from the batch is cleared or deleted. Moreover, the batch also deleted. This clear batch method is used to clear all the queries from the batch and deletes the batch. This clear batch method is used to clear all the queries from the batch and deletes the batch. Method signature. So void method, clear batch, make it public abstract void clear batch throws java.sql.sql exception. So batch processing, anyway, the concept is ended, very small concept. Batch processing means the process of collecting multiple queries as a batch and executing at a time is known as batch processing. If you want to construct this batch processing in JDBC, we take the support of three methods. One, add batch method, execute batch method, and clear batch. So using these three methods, I am writing the program. So program one here, batch processing using statement. So there are three JDBC statements, no? Right? Statement, other two are what now? Prepared statement and callable statement. So batch processing using statement we are doing. So there are some tables available to me. Let me cross check once. Select star from, hope I had product 45. I had employee, I think. Employee 45. What is the first table I created? Any other table? Bank is there. Okay. So these are the tables available with me anyway. One is customer details 45. This. So there are the tables. Now I'll construct three queries and I'll update these three queries now once. See there? I'm constructing the program. JDBC application, maybe it is 13, and batch processing. Build path, configure build path, add external jar. dbcon 13. Where is the package? dbcon 13. Right. import java.sql try and catch exception e dot print stack trace. Right. So here I am going with the statement. Statement STM is equal to con dot create statement. So we created statement object, and with this we are going to add it now. STM dot add batch. Here we are going to add the query. STM dot add batch. I am trying to add 3 queries now. STM dot add batch in this, because add batch method parameter is string again. Okay, right. Now first one is product. I'm adding. So insert into product 45 values. Here we are entering the values now. Product code anyway. Some 545. Why single quotes means it is varchar now, right? Some R some price anyway 123 and quantity. This is for product 45 and one is bank anyway. So here insert into bank 45 values. Here first one is account number 5656 roughly. Next name some Alex and balance 234 or something. Next savings. Like this, one query. Next one is customer details anyway. Insert into bank 45 values five six five because account number same. Next address some SR Nagar again. Now mail ID some a@, phone number 7878 roughly. My intention here is these 3 queries are one batch now. Add batch method, whenever you execute it started, it creates one batch and add these queries to that batch. And it is going to execute that batch now. How means int k is equal to stm dot execute batch. The batch is executed now. So after collecting this 1, 2, 3 queries as batch now, we are executing the batch now. This is executing the batch. Whenever the batch is executed now, it returns some value. The return type is integer array, means recording the status. Now, the array size will be 3 actually. End of loop. Int I is equal to 0, I less than k dot length, I plus plus. You know, in your core Java, length keyword is used to find the length of array. We don't know how many queries executed, we don't know. 1, 2, 3, 3 executed, 1 executed, 2 executed, we don't know. Roughly. Okay, right. Whenever you write wrongly, anyway, you can see that error, but imagine it. So the status is available in that array. So this length keyword is used to find the length of array. Length of different and length different. Okay, right. So here I am putting one message. So system.out.println. Here data updated. Roughly I am writing one message. If that array size is 3, this message will come for 3 times. 1, 2, 3. If it comes 3 times, updated, updated, updated. That's the meaning. Roughly, we are trying with one batch process. So after execution completed, if you want stm.clear batch, you can clear it. Sometimes clear batch will come error for you. You have to cross check once. So this is con.close. It's not mandatory, but I'm writing con.close. So information through this program is whenever the execution started, here batch is created actually. That batch will be executed by this statement, stm.execute batch. Advantage is nothing but execution control transferred to database product only once. Transferred to database product only once and executes 3 queries and come out. If the batch process not there, 3 times it has to go and come. That's a major advantage of batch process. Let me cross check whether it is updating or not once. So these are the tables. Right, error came for me. Bank okay. Customer details 45. Why means the data see their product B123, this is executed. Observed? Previously error came, but query is executed. Among that batch, 1 or 2 executed, second one exception. This is executed. Observe this, no? Right. That status will be in the array actually. This kind of work only once in JDBC. Actual work in servlet. Because servlet web browser will come, HTML will come, exceptions will come. This all will be converted into error codes. Actually, that is actual work. So here we neglect that part and go forward anyway. See there. Already this is executed. First two queries executed, 5, 6. Third one failed. That only error came actually. So because when I executed second time, it asking me primary key problem. It said unique constraint violated, means primary key problem. I'll convert that message into one error code in servlet and we raise one message to web browser. Hope you know JavaScript completed for you. How many of you completed script? Raise your hands. See there 4, 5. Anyway, the batch processing, the meaning is nothing but batch processing, collecting the multiple queries as a batch and executing together at a time. So here first time for me error came. Third one you said no customer details. First two queries executed. Third one for me raised exception. So first two queries updated actually. Because of that raising exception, the disturbance came out. We can handle it with exception handle. Anyway, collecting multiple queries as a batch and executing together at a time. The concept we call it as a batch processing concept. There are 3 methods available to you. One, add batch, execute batch, and clear batch. Execute batch return type is integer array. Remember for interview, it is an integer array. That point you have to remember it. Right. Now, here the program is dbcon maybe 13.java. Right. Under this, make one statement, note. Batch processing using statement, batch processing using statement, we can update multiple database tables at a time. Batch processing using statement, we can update multiple database. Here update means maybe insert, maybe delete, maybe update. So meaning of here, we can update multiple database tables, not a single table, multiple database tables. So what is to be remembered here means batch processing definition, methods used, return type of execute batch method, and we can update multiple tables. That point to be remembered for interview. Now program number 2, batch processing using prepared statement. Program number 2, batch processing using prepared statement. Batch processing using prepared statement. Right. See there. So for me, one table is there, product always. No problem. Now I am writing batch processing using prepared statement. All of you executed my programs, all programs up to 11 programs. Raise your hands. 11 programs, my programs. How many of you executed? Raise your hands. Only few people. Why? Copy paste only, no. today's student strategy, that all copy paste strategy. For that also no time or what? Right. Anyway, your wish, that is different. Right. Because we never speak, and the reason, we are career oriented trainers. If you are a graduation trainer, I can speak something to you. I never speak to a student because career trainer I am. Headache is yours only. According, when I'm standing at desk, I deliver my subject up to the mark. Remaining all students side only. Sleeping, listening, working, we don't know. Job coming on the road, we don't know that all things. We don't know because we never consider also. Because standing, if a graduation trainer different. Hope you are 100% placement. Maybe management given strategy, I think. 100% don't listen it, don't write it, don't try it. Job is there, not possible, no? Not possible, no. Knowledge is not there. How they'll place it? And 100% placement means how it is possible without knowledge? And you can know no strategies how. Within 1 month, again, lakhs of engineers will come. They are also competitors to you. Time is precious or not now? Whether for you or not, for me, very precious now. Right? So what I'm saying is 13 programs finish off it, and Monday onwards servlet is coming. Tomcat server, web browsers, I will not give a time, and here application development not there. There huge level of application developments are there. So there I will not, I'll dump anyway. 22, almost 16 to 17 servlet programs, I'll dump it. The student has to face it. If you are a real learner, they'll learn it. If not, they'll drop it. That is a different issue, but complete that 13 programs what I'm giving, copy, paste and run it at least. Find your time and run it. Whatever you run it, try to understand the concept at least, not program. Programs are not available in the market. Concept is available. Don't carry the programs to the market, not there. What is the concept available in that program? Yesterday also one program concept is there. Catch the concept, not the program. That's very important. So here also demo program only, but concept is what now? Collecting multiple queries and running on DB. For that, as a JDBC developer, what we can do? That is the concept. Right. JDBC application batch processing. Means setting the values and creating a query like this. PS dot set string, first one parameter index 1, some C111 because C not there anyway. PS dot set string parameter index 2. Here some TRY roughly I'm giving. Right. PS dot set float parameter index 3 234. PS dot set int parameter index 4 and 12. Now here we say PS dot add batch. See, look at, try to understand this. Okay, and look here. Right. So this point I want to highlight it. So this is the query structure anyway. Into this query structure, we are adding these values. After adding these values, that query became one complete structure with values. Then add to the batch. Same query with values added to the batch. Here, same query, we changed the values and added as a batch. So what you observed here now? Sir, batch processing using prepared statement, we can update multiple records into same database table with different values. Using statement, you can update multiple database tables, but here same database table with multiple records. Not only observed. So remaining process same again. So int k is equal to ps dot execute batch. So here for int I is equal to 0, again I less than k dot length and I plus plus. So system dot out dot print ln. So data updated anyway. Data updated. At last ps dot clear batch and con dot close. So we are adding two more records to the same product 45 anyway. So let me run this. Data updated. So cross check in product table. See 8 rows. That's C11 and C22. So two records updated in the same database table. No, right? Okay. Now make a statement under that. Program name is 14 dbcon 14. Here dbcon 14 dot java and under this, anybody writing this? But right. So note, NOT note, batch processing using prepared statement. Batch processing using prepared statement. We can update multiple records into same database table. Batch processing using prepared statement, we can update multiple records into same database table. Here you can update multiple database tables. Here, one database table with multiple records. Now, if anybody asked, what is the advantage of batch processing? What is the advantage of batch processing? What is the advantage of batch processing? In batch processing, the execution control is transferred to database only once and executes all the queries from the batch at a time. In batch processing, the execution control is transferred to database only once and executes all the queries from the batch at a time. In this process, the execution time is saved and generate high performance of an application. When the execution time decreased, performance will be very high. Sir, already procedures are there, no sir. Generally, procedure also same concept only, no, right? Collecting queries and running, right? So what is the difference between batch processing and procedures? One question is there. Make it. What is the difference between batch processing and procedures? Batch processing and procedures. Right. Using batch processing, we can execute only non-select queries. So simply you can say update batch processing, that is, we can do only changes in the database. We cannot run select queries from batch processing. Make a statement. Write like a paragraph enough. Using batch processing, we can execute only non-select queries on database product. Non-select queries on database product. Using batch processing, we can execute only non-select queries on database product, which means it is batch update processing. So it can do only update operations, means create, insert, update, delete. So which means it is batch update processing. Already you know. Using procedures, we can execute both queries, select and non-select. Using procedures, Using procedures, we can execute both select and non-select queries. Non-select queries. Select and non-select queries. Using procedures, we can execute both select and non-select queries. And look here, batch processing means if you want to do a batch processing, the code size increases in the JDBC application generally. If you see the procedure, only single line will be there. Execute procedure, execute function. That's all. Remaining all load in the database only, because all the queries stored and available in the database already. So the load is on database. So code will be very less if you use procedures. Your code will be very high generally. In the real time, we give preference for procedures, not for batch processing. Batch processing not available. Not available means in real time, developers never prefer to write batch processing. They'll give the control to PLSQL engineer. They'll construct all the procedures and they'll give to you and you'll write it. So 2 or 3 procedures, they're showing error to me. Error means problems, right? Basically, procedure what we are constructing, if 2 queries are there, sometimes it will not retrieve. So try when you're getting error in the procedure, if you feel yourself the procedure is correct, if you feel it, sir, my procedure is correct, my program is correct, but answer is not coming. If you feel it, maintain single recorded in the database table, maintain single record. Whenever you maintain a single record in the database table, it will be more efficient in retrieval. Actually, try that. If it is working means give a feedback to me whether it is working or not. Then I'll give a what to do in the procedure side. I'll give a notes to you. Okay, right. So this is the part about batch processing. Hope you can speak about batch processing, all of you. Right. Now comes your concept known as types of result set objects. Make a heading. Types of result set. Types of result set objects. Types of result set objects. Based on control over the cursor, the result set objects are categorized into 2 types: non-scrollable result set object and scrollable result set object. 2 types. Right. Look here. Already you know the result set object. Do you remember? Execute query method. Return type is result set. Already you know. Sir, whatever the data available in the database, the data is available in the operating system buffer. From there, the data is available into result set. When the data is available in the result set, normally, when the data is available in the result set, we are imagining one cursor pointing here. You remember? One cursor is pointing above the first row. I drawn a diagram to you above the first row. We can move the cursor downward by using next method. R is dot next. Correct. If you move this cursor in one direction, that is non-scrollable. If we can move the cursor in one direction, that is non-scrollable. Scrolling means moving up and down. Scrollable means I can move the cursor in two directions. I can move down, I can move up. So based on the cursor movement, the result set objects are categorized into two types, scrollable and non-scrollable. Written based on control over the cursor. Based on control over the cursor, the result set objects are categorized into two types, non-scrollable result set object and scrollable result set object. Same definition I given here. So I'll update the notes. Time is very less, 2 minutes. I'll read it and I'll update there. Okay, right? 5 minutes you wait it. Program I'll do by tomorrow, right? Just I'll finish off theoretical. So there. Non-scrollable result set object. In non-scrollable result set objects, the cursor is moved only in one direction. Only in one direction, which means the cursor moves from top of the table data to bottom of the table data. Top of the table data to bottom of the table data. Whatever the result set objects used up to now, they are all comes under your non-scrollable by default. Above programs related to result set. Is there any program working on result set? The result set object is non-scrollable. And in our session, especially, we are giving a training to you how to design scrollable result set object. How to design scrollable. See there? In scrollable result set objects, the cursor can be moved in two directions, which means down the table data and up the table data. Here, down the table data means we are imagining our result set object. Anyway, the cursor is moved in the result set object, down the data, up the data, that we are calling it as scrollable. Sir, how to design this result set now? Sir, how to construct this scrollable result set means there are two syntaxes. One syntax with statement, one syntax with the prepared statement. That is syntax for creating scrollable result set object. Statement, see there, this syntax already you know, con dot create statement, type and mode. Here prepared statement, already query structure is there here, followed by type and mode. Sir, what is this type? What is this mode? Generally type and mode. Here you can write query structure if possible. Query structure, that is because parameter indexes are there here. Query is not available, only query structure is available there. Sir, what is this type and mode? What is this type and mode? So there are built-in forms given to you already. These are built-in fields available in the result set already. These two are the built-in fields available in the result set. So type means, I written down, type specifies the direction of the cursor. We are going to decide the direction of the cursor. That's called type. Mode specifies the action you are going to do on the result set, whether updating or retrieving or like this, what action you are going to do. So type specify the direction of the cursor. Mode specifies the action to be performed, whether reading the data from the result set or you are trying to update something in the result set. So type is a direction, mode is the type of operation. Now here type 3 types are there, mode 2 types are there here. So this normally see there. If I say type forward only, I selected type as type forward only. If I selected type forward only, The cursor moves only in one direction now. The cursor moves only in one direction. Suppose I selected type as type scroll. Type scroll means two directions. Sir, what is this sensitive, insensitive? We had sensitive organs, no? Right. So skin is a sensitive organ or not now? Yes or no? If you pinch it, somebody will shout it, I think. Right. So why I'm speaking that point means sensitive, insensitive. See there. If I do any updation in the result set, this buffer is updated. That's called sensitive. If I update something in the result set, it is not updated. That is called insensitive. Type scroll insensitive. I don't want to update the buffer. Type scroll sensitive. I want to update the buffer. So two options are given for the developer. The type means you're going to specify the direction. Type scroll says that two directions. In the two directions also, if any operation is performed, whether it has to be affected or not affected the buffer. Insensitive means don't affect the buffer. Sensitive means affect the buffer. There are three options available. Sir, what is these numbers? You know the final variable? What is final variable? Constant. Final variable must be initialized with an value. Once initialized, cannot be modified. Suppose if I take final int k is equal to 10, final means this value is a final. That's the meaning actually. If I try to load 20, you cannot load it. That's called final variable. Maybe your trainers are using a word as constant. So constant means unchangeable. The value cannot be changed. So here also they are final variables only. These variables are final variables. Final variable means value must be there, no? So these are the values available. So the value is already available. This is a built-in form. This variable, this is variable. Public static final int. Int is a data type and final static. Brace not there, no? Right. So brace not there means it is a variable only, no? Brace is there means a function or method for us. So brace not there means it is a variable only. So if it is a final variable, some value must be there. So these are the values assigned to this final variable. It's a concept. Sir, what about mode? Only two types, read only and updatable. If you select this one, you can read it. If you select this one, you can update it. Two modes are available. Concur, read only, concur, updatable. While I'm writing a program, I'll show these fields where they are available to you. Okay, right. So finally, the theory is nothing but the data is available in the result set overall. Remember like this. Now there is one cursor auto generated here. By default, the result set object is non-scrollable. Non-scrollable means the cursor moves only in one direction. Sir, sometimes I want to have control over this cursor. That means I want to move downward, upward, or I want to move to particular row number like this. I want to have control over this cursor. Whenever you want to have control over this cursor, we had a second option known as scrollable result set object. How can we construct scrollable result set object? While you are taking a statement object or prepared statement object, you are passing type and mode as parameter. Type means you are going to select anyone from here. Mode means you are going to select anyone from here. Observe, among the type, if I selected type forward only, you can move the cursor only in one direction. If you selected type scroll, two directions. Among that sensitive, insensitive, two options are available. Sensitive means buffer is updated. Insensitive means buffer is not updated. So mode means it decides the type of operation, whether you are performing read only or updatable. So these are the points to be recorded. Now, whenever I want to do some operations using this cursor, there are some methods given, built-in methods available. The methods. The following are some methods used to control cursor over scrollable result set object. See that? Suppose the cursor is by default pointing before the first row. I had a method known as after last. I had a method known as after last. Immediately the cursor will come down. Immediately I can move the cursor to last. Now, no, I want to move the cursor back again to the first, before first. Again, the cursor moved to the before first. Now, previous example, I moved the cursor to after last. I want to come backward. That's called previous. Whenever I want to go forward, that is next. Daily you are using next or not now, right? Now, I want to make the cursor point to the first row, that is first. I want to make the cursor point to the last row, that is last. We are controlling that cursor. So there is one relative and absolute. So absolute of int means I can say absolute of 20 means the cursor will go and wait in the row number 20. So absolute of 56, the cursor will go and wait in the row number 56 directly. That's called absolute. Moves the cursor to the specified row number. We can move the cursor directly by the row number. Relative. Suppose the cursor is pointing to the row number 20. From there, I want to move to the 21. If I write absolute of +1, that is move to 21. If I said the cursor is pointing to 20, if I say relative of -1, the cursor will come to the 19. So from the current pointing, we can move the cursor to forward and backward. Moves the cursor from the current position in forward and backward direction by increment or decrement. This is the theoretical notes. I want to dump it. Okay, right. Now, based on this theoretical notes, I will write two programs, one with the statement, one with the prepared statement, that I'll write by tomorrow. Two programs to you. I'll write it. After explaining the two programs, next one is row set. Immediately, row set. The row set is nothing but extension of result set. Result set child is row set, right? After the row set, we had metadata. That's the last component. So tomorrow support me to complete that three components. I'll come a bit early again. I'll try to come by 2 o'clock sharp tomorrow. Support me for 2 hours tomorrow. Let me complete the three topics. And Monday, let us, because major practical over. Whole processor is the major practical over. Remaining all concepts for reading. Okay, right. So let us tomorrow work for 1 hour 45 minutes or 1 hour 50 minutes and finish off the three topics. And Monday, let us make a revision for 20-25 minutes on JDBC. And after that, let us go for introduction to servlet. Next week, let us keep 15 days. Let us keep busy with servlet. So among that, one Sunday, we are going to work it in servlet programming. One Sunday, we are going to work it. Not offline. It is an online. So management and me already decided one Sunday we are going to work it. Some plan is there because placement drives are going to happen for you. So because of this reason, they are rushing it out. Got it right? So fastly learn it. Don't waste your time Sunday. Management is already pressured, right? If you are not learning, they are pressured only. If worth is not there, they'll get a pressure. If you have a worth headache, not there. If worth is not there, headache not there. If you have a subject, headache not there. No. If subject not there, only problem will come. Right? Somewhere you have to work hard. No other choice until you get some offer letters. Work hard. Do or die. You have to work it. Right? So in that process, I am moving to servlet programming on Monday at any cost with introduction. Got it right? Thank you very much for today.